Hello everyone. So this is David, your professor or your instructor. So today I'm going to share an article that is relevant about self-determination theory and chapter 6. And because this Friday we don't have any people's we don't have any people's presentations, so I make a presentation by myself. So this presentation is not a illustration of how to do the student presentation for the article. So you may not, please do not imitate this presentation when you prepare for the your own research presentation. So this in this video, I just talk about the article in brief. So this article is Living Well, a Self-Determination Theory Perspective on Eudaimonia. So the authors are Ryan, Huta, and Decky. And as we know, Ryan and Decky are the two authors of SDT, or self-determination theory. And Huta is a professor who studies eudaimonia. So this article mainly talks about eudaimonia through a SDT perspective. So first of all, we need to define what eudaimonia is. So the study of eudaimonia can be traced back to the ancient Greece period. So Aristotle, the Greek philosopher, explained this concept in his book. So he defines eudaimonia as a character of persons that entails living in accordance with reason and moderation, and aiming toward excellence and realization of a complete human life. So eudaimonia is not a feeling. It's not a feeling happy or feeling bad, but it's a description of characters. So eudaimonia, in terms of Aristotle's perspective, it's a person's character. So people have some kind of characters that can be seen as eudaimonia. And in this character, with this character, people continuously engage in reflectivity and deliberation. And also their pursuits in life are volitional. It means that they pursue things not because somebody controls them, not because they pursue for some rewards or avoid punishments. Rather, they have some pursuits because of their volition. They are willing to pursue these things in life. And also these pursuits reflect their true self, not something else. So in modern time, Ryan, Decky, and Huta studied this concept with SDT. So SDT, we have covered a lot of content in the class already. So such as intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation, the internalization of intrinsic motivation, the three basic needs. We talk about the three basic needs this week, and we haven't finished it yet. And also they found that three basic needs are foundations of personal growth. Of course, these are needs, and the needs are conditions that are essential for growth and well-being. But how these needs are associated with well-being, that's the main thing we talk about in this video. So in modern time, Ryan and Huta defined eudaimonia as a way of living that is focused on what is intrinsically worthwhile to human beings. So in other words, eudaimonia is a way of living. It's not a character, it's not an outcome, but it's a way of living. That's how you live. So eudaimonia living focuses on what has inherent worth, and also first order values. And eudaimonia living do not focus on extrinsic worth or second, third order values. So what is second or third order values, or what is first order value. So let me give you an example. So for example, I want to get money. If you ask me why do you want to get money, I will answer, I want to get a big house. To get a big house, I need to get money. So then you can ask, why do you want to get a big house? And I can answer you, because I want to have a living environment that is really safe and comfortable. So why do you want to have a safe environment and a comfortable life? I cannot answer you, because I want to feel safe. Because I want to feel safe, there is no other purposes behind this pursuit. So living safe is a reflection of physiological needs. I want to satisfy my physiological needs. I do not want my physical body to get hurt by the other people or by the other animals. So that to satisfy that need, I need to get a big house. And to satisfy the goal for a big house, I need to get money. So the satisfaction of the physiological need is the first order value. So the value I admire is the first order. It's not a means to get another value. So why I want to get this value? Because I want to get this value. So the purpose is in itself. But second or third order values or something else, these are just means to get the first order values. So the money is the third order value, and the big house is the second order value. Why it's called a second order? Because to get the first order value, I need to get the big house. So the big house is just a means of getting the first order value, and money becomes the third order value here, because the money is a way to get a big house. So the third order value is a means to get a second order value, and the second order value is a means to get first order value. And they found that the intrinsic goals are always first order value, first order goal, or first order value. So what is intrinsic goals or intrinsic aspirations? And also in SDT, they talk about aspirations. You can understand aspirations as values, or understand aspirations as goals, or something people want to get. So these are not motivation. Motivation is something that drives you to initiate actions, but aspirations are something that you want to get in life. But there are two types of aspirations. First type is intrinsic aspiration. Examples can be growth, personal growth, affiliation. Affiliation can be having connection with some people, or being a member of some kind of groups. The other examples of intrinsic aspirations can be health. So physical health, mental health, and other aspirations. They found that pursuing these aspirations bring higher well-being and more positive relationships. And the second type of aspirations is extrinsic aspiration. Examples can be wealth, fame, images, and so forth. And they found that pursuing extrinsic aspirations are not related to well-being or positive relationships with others. So the next question is why? Why is that? They found that pursuing intrinsic aspirations satisfy the three basic needs: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. And they found that pursuing extrinsic aspirations do not satisfy the three basic needs. And the satisfaction of the three basic needs enhance well-being. So the logic link is really clear here. The antecedent is intrinsic aspiration, the mediation is the satisfaction of the three basic needs, and the outcome is well-being. But extrinsic motivation, extrinsic aspiration is not in that logic link. So think about this aspirations, wealth. So wealth can be, oh, I really want to get money. Fame, oh, I really want to get famous, to be famous. Images, oh, I really want to look good, look beautiful. So all these values in life, or all these things that you want to get in life, are extrinsic aspirations, and pursuing all these things cannot make you have a higher level of well-being, or cannot make you to have a good relationships with others. But intrinsic aspirations can. They bring you higher level of well-being and better relationships with other people. So these findings can have huge implications on our personal life. What kind of life we want to have, what kind of a living we will have. So this article provides a lot of implications. So think about this in your life. What kind of aspirations you pursue? Wealth, fame, images, or growth, affiliation, or health. So the next part is types of regulation. I think you're really familiar with the picture here, because I grabbed this picture from here to the lecture. And the next topic is mindfulness. And what is that? It is awareness of what is occurring in the present moment, and a open and receptive processing of events, both internal and external. So mindfulness is a state that the person is aware of the present moment, not aware of the past moment, not aware of the future moment, but aware of the present moment. And this person is really open to the present, and also receive information, all kinds of information from the present moment. And they found that if there is a greater mindfulness, there can be more autonomous regulation. Autonomous regulation includes identified regulation, integrated regulation, and intrinsic motivation. And also, it is associated with more pursuit of intrinsic aspirations or intrinsic values. So next topic is outcomes of eudaimonia. Major outcomes. So eudaimonia way of living can lead to two types of well-being. One type is subjective well-being. Subjective well-being includes three components. The first component is presence of positive emotion, and the second one is absence of negative emotion. The third component is life satisfaction. What does it mean? So if people have higher subjective well-being, means that people feel happy, do not really feel sad or have negative emotions, and also they are satisfaction. They are satisfied with their life. So that's high level of subjective well-being. And the next type of well-being is psychological well-being. So there are 6 dimensions of psychological well-being. There is personal growth. There is environmental mastery. So this dimension really sounds like competence need in SDD. And the third one is positive relationships. So this dimension really sounds like relatedness in SDT. And the next dimension is life purpose. There is a purpose in life. And the next dimension is self-acceptance. The people accept themselves, accept that every person, or accept that themselves are not perfect. And the last dimension is autonomy. So autonomy here is the same with the autonomy in SDT. And they claim that the psychological well-being is the outcome of eudaimonia way of living. So if people have a eudaimonia way of living, they can have higher psychological well-being. They can have more personal growth. They can master the environment better. They can have better positive relationships with others. They can have a higher purpose in life. They can accept themselves more, and they have more autonomy. Other outcomes, there is meaning in life, and they feel vital. Their high level of vitality. There is better physical health, and also there are other possible outcomes, such as more internal locus of control. They are more resilient to mental problems, higher hope, and higher self-efficacy. So there are some implications from this article and from the concept of eudaimonia. There are two questions for you guys to think of. What are the implications of eudaimonia for societal and collective well-being? And the second question is, what are conditions allow people to pursue eudaimonia way of living? So think about these two questions. And also the author, one of the authors is Veronica Huta. She's a professor from University of Ottawa from Canada. And she's a person who studies eudaimonia a lot. And I think that's the only professor who studies this concept in this world. So she's findings are really interesting. You can check out her webpage. So as in summary, in a brief summary, so eudaimonia, based on the modern theorists, based on the SDT perspective, is a way of living. It's not a feeling, or it's not a personality, but it's a way of living. It's all about how people live. And in this kind of way of living, people pursue intrinsic aspirations such as growth, affiliation, and health. They do not really pursue some external aspirations such as wealth, fame, images. So it provides a lot of implications for personal life. And also outcomes of eudaimonia can be subjective well-being and psychological well-being and other positive outcomes. And thank you very much.